Boodoo's Funeral Home, a leader in the funeral industry for over 25 years, is now at number 2 Southern Main Road, Cunupia. At Boodoo's, you are assured quality service and affordable funeral packages so that your loved ones get the send-off they deserve. Boodoo's can ship and receive worldwide. When the inevitable occurs, you can rely on Boodoo's Funeral Home, funeral directors and embalmers. Now at number 2 Southern Main Road, Cunupia. 24-hour service available. Phone 370-8036. Boodoo's Funeral Home, a leader in the funeral industry.
परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। परमानंद का अनुभव कर, ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर, तू धन्य बना जीवन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। प्रभु की प्राप्ति का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण, है आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन। देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे, ओ देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे, कर ले अभिवादन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। परमानंद का अनुभव कर, ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर, तू धन्य बना जीवन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। पाले किरण किरण को निरख नयन से ओ किरण किरण को निरख नयन से को जा मन में मगन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब जा कर ले मिलन अब जा कर ले मिलन अब जा कर ले मिलन
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम् अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम् कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं बेर शबरी के जैसे
Mom, good job.
रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्
ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु माते है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन परमानंद का अनुभव कर ओ परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन प्रभु की प्राप्ति का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण है आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन अभिवादन ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल
You add the oil already? No, that's all. Anybody comes, you put it over here afterwards. You put it over there when you come. Pinda. Take it out from the bag over here. Take it out from the bag. Come, follow us. Quarter of the rice inside them. But because one kushras from me about this length, inside there, about 10 pieces. Blacktail, you have blacktail? Don't throw it all there, keep us some first. Have blacktail? Yeah. Give him some at the studio here. Stuff more? Here, somebody make the chutney for me. Come here, hold us. Yeah, get here. Alright, you keep us at there for me. Cut the blacktail for me, get mango leaf. You can use that. You can use that one now. We have enough for the side. This we need is for tomorrow morning, so that's not for today.
Oh, okay.
So keep that safe for tomorrow. Open the can for some. Open the box of things some. What the city body is?
She didn't tell me. This is when we find out, you know.
Yeah. Right, get camphor inside there as well. Guys, open the camphor and bring them up for me in fours. Where's the ghee? The ghee. Hey, bring that light. Sit around. Hey, bring your foot here. Alright, no, they don't need it here. Put it over here. No, that was stand behind. No? Oh. Put it by the foot on the front, please. Now. I don't see you have any ghee.
Oh, no.
Oh. Yeah, I don't have ghee here.
You have one in the back, right?
Right over there, yeah. What I do have, do you have any pieces of wood by chance? Or any ghee? Can I have a look at that? Sure. They didn't bring any. Guys, look at me. Fellas, look at me. You ready for me here, ready?
Yeah.
Right, so come stand here. Come stand here. Yes, go sit down there. Take your time. Match. Son, you made the chandan already?
Huh?
You made the chandan? Yeah. No extra D, yeah?
You want the para in there?
Yeah, give me now. Give me the para and your lighter there for RT. You make a RT for me and give me the para, yeah. You made this RT for RT.
Okay.
No, you put can for that's fine, leave it. What towel do you bring? Only 2? Yeah.
You do it after.
Where's that? No, use that towel yourself here.
Put it into this one.
Yeah, in the center right there.
You can put any on top.
Yes, you could. But not as yet. We're gonna do the piece of cloth first. Yeah. We do have the piece of white cloth.
The white cloth. With the gabara on it?
Yes.
Yes.
Spread it beneath. Spread it here, guys. Come, guys. Spread it beneath here. Come, guys. I'll help him. Hey, just push it between and they go in. You don't need to move the cloth. Right. Level them a little bit. Good. Beautiful. Here. Sprinkle some black in the plate. Come, wash your hands. Wash all your hands, guys. Om Gange Yamani Godam Saraswati Nalfalajani. Drink some of the water. Raghavai Namaha, Raghavai Namaha, Raghavai Namaha. Drink some again. Keshavai Namaha, Kesha. Right hand, son. Put your right on the left. Drink some again. Madhavai Namaha. Wash your hands. Om Sri Hasta Prakshalam. Samarapayami Govindai Namo Maham. Om Kushe Brahma Kushe Vishnum. Kushe Devo Maheshwadam Cha Kushagrim. Brahma Vishnu Maheshwadam Cha. Om Kushe Mole Satim. Only 3 of you, right? Anybody else? Only 3 of you alone?
Yeah.
Monsieur, your left hand. You are the main one, right? Good. Hadki sharan ho ja jana lagaye. Yes, thank you. No, I think we're okay there. Keep on your mouse, keep on your mouse, keep on your mouse. Hands. Next hand. Grandson to right. Yeah, we're supposed to put some beneath the box. That's good. Okay, guys. Make a line this way. You first. You here. एक झूठ सच में दुनिया में only leave it there, that's fine. Come guys, turn around. Take close on your hands. Check one. बोली श्री मापति महादेव की जय. सबको खड़ा हो जाए. Let's stand everyone. As we join our hands together, devotees, we bow our heads today. It's a sad day and also a very celebrative day as well. One thing we know for sure, all of us here today, that death is inevitable to all of us. No matter who you are, what status you may have in life, what financial background you may have, or who you are in this world, when death comes knocking, we all have to face death. That is something we have to bring to reality in our minds. And because of that, devotees, we understand that in leaving the separation of oneself with that personality, it brings grief to oneself. What do we miss? We miss the personality of that illustrious mother of ours. And to that person, devotees, we will forever miss. This morning we join our hands together, we bow our heads in prayer. We pray, O Bhagavan, we seek your blessings, your vardhan. May the soul of my dear beloved mom, may her soul rest in peace as that journey begins for that shaheed in crossing that bhav sagar to attain moksha, to go to Yamraj, to attain that supreme Parampita. Harihi Oma Pavitro Pavitro Va Sarva Vishtang Pivam Yashmane Pundarikakshi Sarvagi Vyantara Suchim Om Shvashti Nindro Brihashvaham Shvashti Napuka Vishaveda Swastina Sakshum Arishanemi Swastino Brihaspati Datum Om Priya Pratavang Piyuksha Piyudi Vyantarik Vishim Payudata Piyashvashta Pidiksha Santomaniam Vishnu Ratmase Vishnu Stapisyum Vishnu Sudivase Vishwadurvasim Vishnadavam Tvam Agni Devatam Vatu Devata Sudevata Chandrama Devatam Basado Devatam Rithya Devata Vishwadeva Devatam Om Diho Shantim Antarikvagum Shantim Prithvi Shantim Apa Shantim Oshdev Shantim Vanaspatev Shantim Brahma Shantim Sarvagum Shantim Shantivam Shanti Samam Shantaridhim Badram Kadnehi Sajinavarivaham Badram Pashyamakabijatraham Sarangaistushtvahum Sastanubhim Vishvahitam Devahitam Yadayo Shri Krishna Govindam Hari Murari He Nath Naram Yanvasudevam Shri Krishna Govinda Hari Murari He Nath Naram Yanvasudevam Shri Krishna Govinda Hari Murari He Nath Nara Yanvasudevam He Nath Naram Yanvasudevam He Nath Nara Yanvasudevam Prem se boli Mahavishnu Bhagavan ki jai Boli Sri Satya Sanatan Dharma ki jai. Chadhavi flowers, guys, on top of the box and bow 3 times. Mangalam Bhagavan Shambhu, Mangalam Gharvajam, Mangalam Pundarikakshi Mangalayim, Tano Harim, Vishnavai Namaha. You can all indeed have your seats, everyone, by team. Om Sri Vishnavai Namo Namaham. Turn around, guys, take flowers again. Get some flowers in your hands. So, one of your leaflets on them. One of your leaflets on them. Join your hands, everyone, together. Ma Doolin Pragg. Many years ago, devotees, Ma met me, I was in the village during puja. And she attended the puja, and before I knew it, she called me. I'm not sure how much of you knew this. And then she said, Baba, I want you to come to my home to perform puja for me. A couple of years ago, I could tell you this. And from that moment, myself and Mataji, as I would call her, or Ma, became very, very close. And she would call me on the phone and say, Baba, I want to have a puja. And over the phone, she put her date for her puja. And I know exactly where to go, because she would say, Ba, you know where I'm right? Is Mama here? And I know exactly where to come, and everything was in place. And that's the relationship I had with Ma over the years. And for these daughters, you would know that, because we kept that sense of relationship. And sometimes when I don't hear from her, I wonder sometimes, how come she didn't call me to say for puja? But that never happened. As the year goes later on, she called me, Baba, I want to have puja. Last year, I missed hearing from her because she had none last year. Of course, we know because of COVID, things was a little bit different. A very wonderful, very powerful person. I often tell devotees that no one can replace a mother. And last night I was doing a yajna, and I was telling some devotees who gathered in the yajna, those who choose, or make you choose between mother and wife, or mother and sister, or mother and this one, let me use a local palang, that one, that's not a righteous person. No one should make you choose between your mother and anybody else in this world, or father and anybody else in this world. You know, I've ever heard that often. If you talk to your mother, you and I go high issue. If you talk to your father, me and you, that person is unrighteous. Because no one in this world can replace a mother. Nobody in this world. And who want to say what? Well, say. Let me be a little bit, Trini a little bit. Because I'll tell you something. The love, the cherished a mother gives to her children, it is incomparable to anything in this world. I grew up in an era, I often say this when I do funeral, especially when mothers pass away. My mother died 6 years ago, devotees. February 5th gone, made her 6 years since she have passed. My dad, 21 years ago. And it's not an easy feeling to lose mother and father. But I grew up in a time where we had the Mother's Day function in this classroom or in the school. I attended back in Hindu school, by the way. And we would go in front of the school and we go, M is for the million things she gave me. O means only that she's growing old. T is for the tears she shed to save me. H is for her heart of pure of the soul. E is for her eyes so bright and shining. R is right, and right she'll always be. Put those words, those letters together. It spells the word mother. A word that means the world to me. How much of you have learned that in school? How much of you remember those days of growing up? I'm not sure if they still do that in school today. But those are moments in my life that never leaves my mind. And then you live in regret because you didn't do certain things for mom. And if you know, I don't like that. I did a funeral a couple of weeks ago, and the brother came in front and said, Baba, I don't miss my sister. You know why he don't? He said, I did everything with her when she was alive. Now it's time for her to cross. And he's right. When someone is alive, do live the way you ought to live. Because when that person dies, there is no more. Oh, Baba, if I only know, I woulda, coulda, shoulda. You know, I hear that very often. Baba, if I only know, I would have gone and carry something for my mother. Baba, I would have done this, that, and the other. And I don't mean this is not for you all. I'm speaking in general terms, please. Because many, many a times I see children, I see persons living in regret of what they could have done, and woulda, and coulda, and shoulda. It's time to start, as we say locally, wake up. And recognize that we are living in different times. We are living in abnormal, normal times. But it is what it is. I often tell devotees, to each his own. Know who you are, please. Judy Han, guys, take curiosity in your mind. your date of birth. Let's do a sankalp. Pick my name. Today we send off that Shaheedim. As she goes on that journey, going to Yamlok, Yamrajam, we pray that may that soul find peace in the heavenly abode. Om Vishnu Rama Paramatmanim Sri Paran Parashottamani Vishnu Rajam Varati Namase Brahmano Dyuti Je Rajashvitim Kali Pradam Chadne Jambo Deepim Antishri Pindrodanam Pindropadhim Tatva Pindrodan Pindropadhi Mayaditim Tau Pratishram Om Ayante Na Pritasim Pindrodan Pindropadhim Mayaditim Tau Pratishatam. Prem se bole Mahavishnu Bhagavan ki. Chadhavi on top again and bow. Mangalam Bhagavan Shambhum. Mangalam Pundarikakshim. Mangalaitano Harim. Om Sri Vishnavai Namo Namaham. Vishnavai Namo Namah. Ring finger. And we offering right here. So we're going Chandan, forehead, Chandan right hand, left and his bottom. Put some water in that. Put some water in it. Rainy water. Sun, let's sprinkle some water above there a little bit. Good. The number right. So forehead first. Om Kanda Chandam Dibyam Shirashamanon. Put it nice. Stop. Put it properly. One quiet here. Kanda Chandam Dibyam Shirada. One good. Put one here. Good. Dip again. Quiet here. Don't have any face. I want to put it nice. Put one quiet here. Om Kanda Chandam. Right. Same thing, son. Take the Chandan. For it here first. Om Kanda Chandam Dibyam Shirasha Manoharam Veli Padam Chandaram Pratigadam. Up a little bit more quiet here now. By the ears. Yeah. You go wipe another one from there. Right about Shivi. Bring in napkin, son. Put about quiet here so you'll be by the ears now. So you'll leave your face clear. Right? Look how nice. So then you're doing all how. Come, wipe it here, son. Wipe it Chandan from there. Take it two. Take it two. Right. Put it quiet here, son. About here. Right. Good boy. Put quiet down here. Son, you as well. Same place. Om Kanda Chandam Dibyam Shirasha Manoharam. Sanan, bring the essence right across them. Om Gadam Grihana Devasya Deva Dev Dhyani Twamiva Jagatnata Sim Tamivadam Jagaprabhum. Om Shri Vishnavai Namo Namaham. Essence was right here just now. I know, so right here. Son, right here. Come. Om Garam Grihana Devasya Deva Devyanim. Give Uncle first. Om Garam Grihana Devasya Deva Devyanim. Twamiva Jagatata Sitamivadam Jagaprabhum. Om Garam Grihana Devasya Deva Devyanim. Twamiva Jagatnata Sitamivadam Jagaprabhum. Om Sri Vishnavai Namo Namaha. Guys, you as well. Ariha Mukta Gotrasya Mukta Preta. Pindro Padhimayaditim Tau Pratishatam Vishnavai Namo Namaham Ayanti Na Pritasim Pindro Danam Pindro Padhim Mayaditi Tau Pratishatam Brahma Vishnu Maheshwaram Sam Nirmatam Brahm Sukadam Yagyo Pavitram Pavitram. Touch hand, guys. Pindrom, about here the hand will be right. Om Yam Dvade Mahagurihim Tatva Loka Dhyanam. Lota water. Pindro Danam, put it like this. Pindro Danam, Pindro Padhim, put it like this. Pitch a marble. Like a pitching a marble. Om Ayante Na Pritasim, Pindro Dan, take water on top. Om Ayante Na Pritasim, Pindro 3 times. Pindro Danam, Pindro Padhim. Maya Diti Tau Pratishnam Bau. Om Vishnavai Namo Namaham. Yam Dvare Mahagorahim Arhitasveratam Tatva Loka Dhyanam. The mala. Give them the mala, please. You can give them according to sizes so they will know how to put it. So yours being this small one, yours going to come first, and then guys, yours will be a little bigger. So you go beneath and go down, right? Go ahead. ओम मल्लकाधीश गणिनी मल्लत्याधीनवे प्रभुम माहृतानि श्री पुष्पाणि श्री पृथ्वी माता पुष्पं समर्पयामि। अर्ह्य मुक्त गोत्र से मुक्त प्रेतम पिंद्रोदानम पिंद्रोपधीम। No, that's three of them. What next to is for?
I don't know. I saw there's had 5 mouths.
No, that's only 5 boys. So you only have 3. So you could do one and maybe sister could do one when that time comes. Light with the arting. No, we need this. We could put camphor. Throw back the soda into the bottle. And put camphor in it. So you have camphor right here. Right. Nice. Give it him. Alright guys, listen carefully what you're doing. You're doing arti right here 5 times. So 5 times the arti right here. All of you guys touching hands, right? And then you're walking around 5 times. Very slowly. Take your time. No rush. And wave the light while you're going around, okay? Go ahead. Stop going. Let's stand everyone. Jai Jagadish Hari Swami Jai Jagadish Hari Bhakt Jano ki sankatam Das Jano ki sankatam Chaname Dodha Kari Om Jai Jagadish Hari Jo Dhyavi Palam Pavim Dukkha Binasi Manakam Swami Dukkha Binasi Manakam Sukha Samampatim Gadhavim Sukha Samampatim Gadhavim Kashtamiti Dhanakam Om Jaim Jagadish Harim Mata Pita Tumhamerim Shadana Kaho Kisakim Swami Shadana Kaho Kisakim Tumha Binavadan Dujam Prabhu Binavadan Dujam आश करो जिसकी ओम जय जगदीश हरि जय जगदीश हरि स्वामी जय जगदीश हरि भक्त जनों की संकट दास जनों की संकट तेरी चन में दूर करी Om Jai Jagadish Hari. Go around sir. By the foot and off it by the foot and bow. Come and do it to son. He alone and give it to your cousin. Go ahead right here. That's 5 times. Tum ho ekahano charam sabki pranapati. Take flowers. Swami sabki pranapati. Go around and put it by the foot. किस विधि मिलो दयावीम किस विधि मिलो दयावीम take flowers on body foot तुमको मी कुमतीम ओम जय जगदीश हरि this way जय जगदीश हरि स्वामी जय जगदीश हरि भक्त जनों की संकट दास जनों की संकट चन में डोर करी ओम जय जगदीश हरि महाविष्णु भगवान की जय. Now for all of you who wants to do arti, guys, 3 of you, well, let's step aside a little bit. We have flowers, we have mala, Help me, guys, here. Give them flowers to give to offer. We have some mala. Keep this there lighting. Put some more camphor here. And everybody who comes, give them to do arti. And of course, pay their respects. Right? Like about to say for mommy. So now we'll give a little chance to the members of the family to come and pay their respects by chadhawin, by offering mala, and of course doing arti as well. All right, get the arti, get the arti. Jai Krishna Hari, Shri Krishna Hari. दुखियों को दुख दूर करी जय 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 कृष्ण हरि जय कृष्ण हरि श्री कृष्ण हरि दुखियों को दुख दूर करी जय 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 कृष्ण हरि जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो आशा का दूर किनारा हो और कोई न कीवन वाला हो फिर तो ही बेड़ा पार करो जय 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 कृष्ण हरि. You don't need to go wrong, Mama. You don't need to go wrong. Right, that's fine. जय कृष्ण हरि श्री कृष्ण हरि दुखियों को दुख दूर करी जय 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 कृष्ण हरि. तो चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दी विष को भी अमृत कर दी. तो चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दी विष को भी अमृत कर दी. पूर्ण कर दी सबकी आशा पूर्ण कर दी सबकी आशा जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे जो भी तेरा ध्यान करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरि जय कृष्ण हरि श्री कृष्ण हरि. दुखियों को दुख दूर करे जय 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 कृष्ण हरि. जिन निकले है तो ही महल सजाई मतलब है याद साधी सब है प्यार ही. जिन निकले है तो ही महल सजाई मतलब है यार साधी सब ही प्यार ही. एक ही कितना तो ही दुख झेला दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन हमेला आए भी हकीला जाही भी हकीला. दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन हमेला आही भी हकीला जाही भी हकीला. दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन हमेला. काहे तो ही आई जग में क्या तुझ करना नेकी करम कर ले दुनिया से डरना. काहे तो ही आई जग में क्या तुझ करना नेकी करम कर ले दुनिया से डरना. पाप की है गम में तुम काहे तो धकेला दो दिन की जिंदगी है दो दिन हमेला आही भी अकेला, जाही भी अकेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन हमेला, 2 दिन की जिंदगी है, 2 दिन हमेला. You can all have your seats, everyone. Sanatana Dharma or Hinduism is an eternal way of life. And we have given room, devotees, for circumstances like this because, as you know, our way of life has an intensive offering to be performed, and there's quite a bit happens when someone dies. We don't just perform the funeral ceremony or the Entrusted and it ends there. We have the aftermath, the after pujan, the pujan that continues. Why do we do all of this? The Shaheed starts traveling as of today. Only when we perform the disposal of the body, we allow the 5 tattvas, earth, water, fire, air and ether, the 5 tattvas, to go back to the respective places. And because of that, the journey for the Shaheed begins as of today, on the day of disposal of body. The day with devotees we were performing the Antishti Dhanam. Today the Panch Tattva Puja is being performed as well, and you would see devotees, the Pinda Dan is being performed. 2 Pindal offered at this spot here, and of course the next stream at the cremation site. With the advent of COVID, life have changed. And this is no secret. Many friends have been to this place quite a number of times during COVID. What does that tell you? A lot of yajman of mine, a lot of members I know very, very well died of COVID. It is no secret and nothing to feel ashamed about anymore because it is real. People are afraid to say this. Why are we afraid? Oh, Baba's Mama, what is wrong with that? It is what has happened. And the reality of things is COVID have taken many, many lives. And it continue to take lives. What we need to ought to do is to be safe. Time, moment and place. Hinduism have given that room for that. We have a seal casket, and of course we will have to make our offering on top. Then we'll put on the inside and we'll put it to burn when we get to the site. In the traveling of the Bhavasagar, there is a pinda. So what does a Shaheed would partake of? That pinda dan that we are offering. And from now until the 1 year Bhandara, that is the only offering we can offer that is consumed by the Pret or the Shaheed in crossing that Bhavasagar. So devotees, we are performing the rites in the way we ought to. So I want to commend all of you who have made all the preparations. I know Doolin have been speaking to me, and we have been putting things in place for this day to give Ma the best send-off we can possibly send off her. I think she is how old is she now? 60, 70, 86, Om Namah Shivaya. 86, 1935 to 2022. And that is a long time, 86 years of age. That's a very long time. Ma have spent a full life on earth. She have done her part. She have gone through trials and tribulations and ups and downs in her life. And she managed to be very successful, facing, or as we say locally, fighting the good fight, doing her part and ensuring devotees, her children, got everything she could have indeed done as a mother. That is no easy thing to do, no? When parents sacrifice their life, when parents give their all for their children, when mothers, devotees, by herself, did her part. There's a hunter, devotees, hunting. And the hunter, devotees, he caught a bird. But the bird wants to be let go. Of course, he wants to get, freed. So the bird told the hunter, he said, Mr. Hunter, if you let me go, I'll give you 3 most astounding advice. Advice you will use for the rest of your lives. I want to share these 3 advice to you all today. And of course to myself as well. The bird said, let me go. As I fly out the cage and I go on the first branch, I'll give you my first advice. Second branch, second advice. Third branch, third advice. The hunter said, hey, you know what? I have nothing to lose. So let go the bird. Bird flew off the cage onto the first branch and said, oh, Mr. Hunter, your first advice today is never live in regret. How are you not to live in regret? When you made the right choices in your life. When you do the right things in your life, you think before you act. And don't do things to look back and say, Baba, if I only know, I woulda, coulda, shoulda. And that happens to all of us. Every one of us find ourselves in that predicament at time. Baba, I woulda, and I coulda. Well, hear what? Don't live in regret. Make the right choices in your life. Do the right thing. So the hunter found that is really good advice. Don't live in regret. So he said, thank you. And then the bird left the first branch onto the second branch. And then the bird said to the hunter, he said, Mr. Hunter, don't take what anyone were to say to be truth unless you see, you know that is the truth. In other words, don't take them say and she say and who say to be. And you run with that sometimes. You don't know, no? But that becomes a way. Hey girl, you're here? Don't say I say him. Jai Bhagwan. And the hunter found that most good advice to receive. Thank you again. And then the bird flew from the second branch onto the third branch. And the bird said, oh, Mr. Hunter, you are a fool. The hunter jumped up. What do you mean I'm a fool? He said, inside my tummy, there is 2 diamonds. There is 2 diamonds in my tummy. What are you doing, Mr. Hunter? Now you tell me, what the hunter is now happening to the hunter? He is living in what? Regret. Because you know what? Diamonds in the bird tummy. If I had killed the bird, I would have gotten the diamonds. I regret letting go the bird now. The first advice was, don't live in regret. But what was the second advice? Don't take what anyone were to say to be truth. How are we sure the bird is not speaking the truth? The second advice went down to, because now the man, the hunter, start questioning himself. Why have I done this? Why did I let go the bird? The bird is now saying he's have diamonds and I am taking this to be real. Do you know that is us sometimes? And it comes a time in our own lives when we reach or we come to these junctures of life, we recognize life even more clear. I shared those thoughts with you just to let you know, we live in a mundane world. We live in a world, my dear friends and devotees, that much happens and much fascinates the eyes and the mind, and the grief and wants and the needs kicks in. We need to control that side. Remember the advice, don't live in regret. Don't take what anyone would say unless you know as real, as you know it to be truth. Then you would repeat after. And of course, live your life respecting everyone, honoring, and of course, yourself. Boliye Sri Mahavishnu Bhagavan Ki Jai. I'm sure this morning I have someone in the family to read a little eulogy. So I want to call on that person now. Who is doing that this morning for me? Alex and Shalan. So Alex and Shalan, both of you son, will come right by Baba here as I'm standing. And they both have a little eulogy that they're going to present this morning to all of us. So guys, both of you stand right here, and I'll pass over to Alex and Shallan.
It's the little things that stand out the most. Her charming smile, her soft giggle, her Coca-Cola drink, her love for Indian soap operas, and her long talks. Ma, as we fondly called her, was born on 12th April 1935. Ma was from the village of Brasso. She attended Flanagan Anglican School. Her kindness, selflessness followed her for her entire life. This selflessness showed when she gave up her following academic career to become a teacher's assistant to take care of her ill grandmother. Ma would tell us stories of her trying days during the World War, making home cookbooks and photographs, to her never stepping into the school's prayer room as she thought the idols looked scary, so she would clean everywhere else but that room. In her late teens, Ma met her life companion of 67 years, Harry Pratt. Ma was at home doing chores when Pa passed in a political motorcade, and he immediately was struck with love, and wedding bells went off in his head. As Ma described Pa's reaction, Pa didn't say anything to her, but the next day he rode on his bicycle from Freeport to Brasso to confess his love. This was the beginning of all our stories. Ma loved all her children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. I never got to ask her why all her girl children's names ended in drought. Ma had so many amazing stories that I would like to share with you. She would talk about a rainy day when the flood came up and washed up a duckling, and her 4 daughters adopted this duckling and named it Donald. She would relate how they spoiled this duck, rocking him in the hammock and following everyone around. When Donald passed, she said she couldn't cook this duck because he was a pet. She constantly spoke of her son, Krishna. Ma always commented on how hardened Krishna was as a child, always bothering her sisters and never around to do chores. But this was a real mother and son love. Ma loved to rear ducks and chickens and talk about all her grandchildren, Sammy, Cindy, Devika, Sheldon, and myself. Cindy and Devika would run down the ducks, and while Sammy would be screaming and running away, Sheldon would be so lost, wondering what the commotion was about. Avinash and Arish, our older cousins, also had a ball of a time with those chickens and ducks. Ma would tell us about our cousin from Canada when she and Pa visited. Sean would play pranks on them. Sean took his dad's cuffs and told Pa to extend his hands and handcuffed Pa. They couldn't get the cuffs off until hours after his dad got home. Ma told me, I remember when Ma told me to snap an okra tree, and instead of taking a picture, I broke off the branch. Ma never physically got to see her great-grandchildren, Ava, Olivia, and baby Sophia. She longed for the pandemic to be over to see Olivia eat an apple and place it on her head, and she wanted to name Ava Ishani, from one of her many favorite Indian soap operas. Ma virtually saw baby Sophia once and was so proud of her newest great-grand. So many stories to share with you all because she had everyone in her heart. The way she smiled, laughed, and giggled telling their stories, you can tell how much she loved everyone. Ma, we all need a couple more years with you. You were so kind and loving. This next part is on behalf of Sheldon. I loved coming home and seeing you wait in the gallery for me. We would talk for 15 to 20 minutes about how our day was, what new and random stuff, giggle and laugh. But we are trying our best to accept that it is time for you to leave us. Pa has waited for you for 16 years and now he needs you once again by his side. We will cherish every memory created. We will all love you dearly. We all could not ask for a better grandmother, and great-grandmother. I used to always tell you later because I never wanted to say goodbye. But it is time to say goodbye. Thank you for everything you have done for us, and you will forever live on in our hearts. Goodbye, Ma. We all love you.
Well done, son. You get into public speaking, son. Very good. That's a good bright boy. Whenever we have puja, he's standing next to Mama, foot to foot, as we say locally. Yeah? He's doing everything with her. Anything Baba wants, he's there. And I love him for that. He's a super child, good child. Thank you, son. Thank you all of you for making this a very special day indeed. Ma would have wanted no other way. She would have wanted all of you who are here doing your part and sending her off the way you all are. I know the circumstances of her death is a little bit saddened, because if it weren't for that, maybe she would have gone more, who knows? But I don't like to think that way. Maybe some people may ask me that. But I believe God has a plan for our lives. And when death comes knocking, you got to face it. We have to face what has to happen. So this is her time. She has to leave. And today we pray that her soul rest in peace. We're going to have the Havan and then we'll close off. So place the Havan there. Yeah? Havan by the foot down there. Guys, help me some wood in the Havan here. Wood confirmed. And let's go over there for Havan time. Not too much, son. That's about 4 or 5 pieces. And light up. So devotees, we're going to have the Havan now. And I invite all of you to join by saying Swaha, so we were to feed our Havan. As well as small Havan, not too much of fire. There's about 3 or 4 pieces. And what are you using for the Havan? I mean, what are you using for the Havan? Just give us right there. Yeah. Take a mango leaf. So guys, light now. We have the matches. Somewhere here the matches was there, son. Doolin, you had it there, son. What is? Okay, right here. Go, son. Here. Carry it with you as well as the ghee, right? You go there. Son, you have canfa?
Yeah.
Light. Right. All of you go down by over there. Sunlight. Sanan. Get a lot of water and around the fire 3 times water. Om Gange Yamani, go down, light first. Saraswati Nalvalajdim, Shnapito Shmyadevam Yata Shanti Kurushmim, water. Om Papaham, around the fire sun. Papaham, Papa Kadama, Papatma, go right around, right around. Trahimam Pundarikakshi Sadbhagim, Abhyantara Suchim. Alright. Yeah, should have given inside here, mix it up. Put it one side and mix it up now. On Swaha devotees, we will say Swaha as well, and Baya, you feed the Havan. Okay, all set. Om Prajapratye Namah Swaham. Om Agniyayebhyo Namah Swaham. Om Indra Devtabhyo Namah Swaham. Om Somaye Devtabhyo Namah Swaham. Om Bhu Swaham. Om Bhuvaha Swaham. Om Swa Swaham. Om Vishnavai Namah Swaham. Om Shivaye Namah Swaham. Om Yamaye Namah Swaham. Om Somarajaye Namah Swaham. Om Havyavahanbhyo Namah Swaham. Om Kavyavahanbhyo Namah Swaham. Om Kalayi Namah Swaham. Om Rudrayibhyo Namah Swaham. Om Parashvayibhyo Namah Swaham. Om Pratyayibhyo Namah Swaham. Om Vishnavai Namah Swaham. Om Brahmayi Namah Swaham. Om Vishnavai Namah Swaham. Om Shivayi Namah Swaham. Om Yamayibhyo Namah Swaham. Om Tatapurushaibhyo Namah Swaham. 3 shares, everybody. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevai Namah Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevai Namah Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevai Namah Swaha. Take water. Achman the Havan again 3 times. Om Gange Yamani Goravam Saraswati Nalvalajrim Ashnapito Ashmiyadevam Yat Shantihim Karushtami Om Ganga Jal Stanam Samarapayami Om Vishnavai Namo Namaha. Sanan, take flowers and fan the Havan east, west, north, south. Go ahead. That's good. Go ahead with that. Om Banospati Ruso Bhuto Gandaso Manoharam Veli Param Dupyam Pratigatam Dupyam Samadapayamim Govindai Namo Namaham. Bow. Boli Sri Mahavishnu Bhagavan Ki. Boli Sri Satya Sanatan Dharma Ki. Alright guys, come back this way. Before I get prepared for closing up, is there anyone in our midst have to speak again? Please, could I invite you now to the podium, Pitaji? And we have one more speaker, and I would call on our dear Pitaji, Mr. Ganesh. Sorry? Ma son-in-law. Good. To say a few words. Pitaji, Baiti.
Pranam Devaki.
Pranam.
Shri Krishnaya Namaha Swaha. Mom Doolin Pragg. Will live in our hearts and our minds forever. As Pandit rightly said earlier on, death is inevitable. This is a tribute to Mom. Mom wants to say goodbye.
You hold your mic? You hold your mic, is that? Just put that. Good.
Mom wants to say goodbye. Just couldn't say goodbye. Oh yes, it's true. It's very true. Mom, we love you. Mom, we love you. Mom, we love you. Love is a splendid thing. Love we give and love we bring. Oh yes, it's true. It's very true. You are many miles apart, always, always in our heart. Oh yes, it's true. It's very true. Memories and your love we got, never, never will forget. Oh yes, it's true. It's very true. Mom, we love you. Mom, we love you. Mom, we love you. Gani and Chandra love you. Vindi and Saru too. Oh yes, it's true. It's very true. Oh yes, it's true. Alex loves you. Cindy and Sammy. Cindy and Sammy loves you. Olivia and Eva too. Oh yes, it's true. It's very true. It's very true. Oh yes, it's true. Krishna loves you. Vindra loves you. Oh yes, it's true. It's very true. Sandra loves you. Alex loves you. Oh yes, it's true. Oh yes, it's true. It's very true. Oh yes, it's true. Mom, we love you. Eh, 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 eh. My next part of a song is dedicated to Pandiji and his father, whom I have known many, many years. Pandiji, this is for you.
Thank you.
And I was looking forward to do this very, very, very much. जो तुम तना चाहे जीवन के कृष्णा, जो तुम तना चाहे जीवन के कृष्णा, सुबह शाम तो है बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा, सुबह शाम तो है बंदे कृष्णा कृष्णा कृष्णा. Mom was was very fond of Hanuman, so this is for you, Mom. जय हनुमान ज्ञान गुण सागरी, जय कपीश तिहु लोक उजागर, रामदूत अतुलित बलधामा, अंजनी पुत्र पवन सुतनामा. एक बार बोलो महावीर स्वामी की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, शंकर हरि ओम.
Thank you very much, Pitaji, for such a beautiful rendition. I enjoy Mom, I Love You. I enjoyed that thoroughly. Thank you so much. I love the way you put it together. Pitaji, you're very innovative. Thank you very much. Mom, I love you. To all of you here today, thank you for coming out, and thank you for remembering my father as well, Pitaji. Died many years ago as a young man, losing your father at a very young age. And as you know, boarding as a young man as Pandita, I think that's for me, I lost my dad. That would have been a trying time in my life as well. And you know, that's the time you want your parents to see you grow. And of course, that didn't happen. So thank you for making me feel really happy this morning. Thank you all again for being here and sending off Ma in such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful manner. Thoroughly, I know she'll be happy. She's looking down today and she said, children, you have done well. Blessings to you this morning. Let's all stand for our closing mantras, everyone. Guys, fill your hand with flowers. Before I conclude, does anyone else have to speak again, or that's it? That's it, right? Anyone else would like to say a few words before I conclude? No? Okay. As you know, from here we are heading to the Waterloo cremation site. We are now open air pyre. For the past about a month or two now, we have been given that permission, as you know it to be. So we are back out in our open air pyre even for COVID funerals now. Before that, it was a very tough period for us. Those who would have attended any ceremonies like this, it was quite a tough period to go through with indeed what was happening. Thank you all. God bless you, devotees. May He shower upon you good health, strength, peace, happiness, and indeed Bhagwan's Kripa. I want you to continue being safe. Get vaccinated. I hope all of you got vaccinated. Yeah? I myself, and I also got my booster as well, so I am trying to be as safe as I can whatever I do as I go about my life, because I'm quite plenty on the outside, so much things happening. To the cameraman, good job, beta. To you guys here, fasting opens officially from today. No agar bhagar that you know, no different stuff, and proper fasting. I would prefer you all go without salt. If you can't, I'll give some leeway for any medical problem, but otherwise, proper fasting. No chunky food, and the best you can ought to do. Mommy, you will see me on Tuesday, so we will discuss the different step, which is the daskat, the shaving ceremony, and the madhya shadosh, which is the bandara ceremony. Everyone join your hands together. Harihi Om mantrahinam kriyahinam bhaktahinam jananam yat pujatam maya devam paripurnam tarastamim Om Vishnavai Namo Namaham Matiri Mamatam Gitni Pyari Gitna Pyari Jagati Hai Gitna Pyari Jagati Hai Matiri Mamatam Gitni Pyari Gitna pyadi jagati hai Gitna pyadi jagati hai Swas swas ki raksha karti Swas swas ki raksha karti Pag pag pran bachati hai Gitna pyadi jagati hai माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी कितना प्यार जगाती है कितना प्यार जगाती है तो ऋषियों की रिद्धि सीधी तो ब्रह्मा की भक्ति माँ तो विष्णु की माया देवी तू शंकर की शक्ति मां तू हाथों से बाग जगाती बागी बागी आती है कितना प्यार जगाती है माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी कितना प्यार जगाती है कितना प्यार जगाती है माँ हो माँ माँ हो माँ माँ हो माँ Tvamiva Mata Cha Pita Tvamivam Tvamiva Bandhum Cha Sakha Tvamivam Tvamiva Vidyam Dravinam Tvamivam Tvamiva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Tvamiva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shantim 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 Hari Om. Ram Nam Satya Hai. Everyone, Ram Nam Satya Hai. Satya koi ghatya hai. Preta Shantim Atma Shanti. Everybody, Preta Shanti Atma Shanti. Preta Shantim Atma Shanti. Mahavishnu Bhagavan ki, Ayodhyapati Ramchandra ki, Vishnu Bhagavan ki, Satya Sanatan Dharma ki. Sabko Jai Jai. Sitaram everybody. May God bless you. May God be with you. Stay safe until we see each other again. Sitaram. There's one pin that down we'll do right at the spot right here, and then we'll take everything on the piece of cloth.
I'm going to read from something because I know I'm not going to remember everything, but I wanted to just relive some of our fondest moments together, some of the things that really speak to me, some of the things that I will take with me forever. And the first thing that really came to mind was us sitting under your shed and talking for hours. We talked about everything, but you would always share stories about us as children and our parents as children, and just share so many things that went on in your childhood when you got married. And even though you faced so many challenges and just the adversities in life, you always remained positive when talking to us, and you encouraged us to go to school and get an education to overcome those challenges. If it's anything that you always wanted us to do, it was to go to school. I remember the times you would ask me to dye your hair. To dye your hair and style it because it made you feel good, and you know that if I did it, you didn't have to put so much work and effort into it. And it's one of the things that we did together. You would also ask me to polish your nails. You always wanted pink. Pink was your favorite color. I would clean your nails and polish it, and you would always say I was looking good. Those are some of the things I really remember doing for you, and you were just so appreciative. Every evening we sat on your porch around 5, maybe half 5, and we would watch our neighbors walk by and the cars drive by, and if you recognized anyone, you would proceed to tell me about them, and I have no idea who these people are, but you know, you just found so much joy talking about it, so I would just let you talk. When I was out of school, we would run errands together, and I remember having to always pay the taxi driver because he would always hit me on my shoulder and give me the money to give the guy or the taxi driver. And I would stand in the long bank lines in Republic Bank, and you would sit there and wait for me to get up to the counter so you can come up and do your transaction because you refuse to use your debit card. On the weekends, you would play your music so loudly so loud and wake me up, and then you will ask me, why am I sleeping so late? It was only 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock in the morning. I was a teenager. Of course I want to sleep late. And now that I'm older, every time you visited, you were still so passionate about talking about Devika, Sheldon, Sammy, and I, because we grew up together, and you would always remind us about the stories of growing up. And you would always talk about Papa and say things like, if your grandfather was here, or, you know, he would have spoiled the children. And you're right, he would have. For the last 28 years of my life, you've been the best grandparent a lot of people would dream of having. You helped raise us. We spent a lot of time together. And the last time you visited me in North Carolina, this was for my wedding in July of 2018. And you stood in my kitchen. I remember exactly where you stood. You stood near my kitchen sink, and you told me verbatim. You said, now I don't have to worry about you because now you're married. And you know, you're right. You don't have to worry about me because you did everything you needed to do to prepare me for this life. And you groomed me. And one of the things that I would always take with me and would remember is how nurturing you were and how gentle you were. And that's something that I would take with me always and raise my daughter. I would never
Dear Ma, in our hearts we thought of you today as we say our final goodbye. But that's nothing new because we thought about you yesterday and the day before that too. We will miss our phone calls early in the morning, on our birthdays, Valentine's Day, and every holiday. Words cannot express how hard it is for us to lose you. You will be missed very much. We enjoy every moment we spent with you, and those memories will be cherished forever. Now all we have are memories and your picture in your frame. Your memories are our keepsake with which we will never part. God has you in his keeping, we have you in our heart. As you journey through life, you left footprints wherever you go. Footprints of your kindness and love, courage and compassion, joy and faith. Even though you are gone now, we can still look back and clearly see the trail that you left behind. Love you dearly. Rest in peace. Love, Andy, Sean, Natasha, and baby Sophia. Love you. Rest in peace.
परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन अब चल कर ले मिलन परमानंद का अनुभव कर धन्य बना जीवन ज्योति बिंदु ज्योति बिंदु परमा चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। प्रभु की प्राप्ति का मूल मंत्र है संपूर्ण समर्पण, है आत्मा चल प्रभु को सौंप दे तू सारा जीवन। देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे, ओ देख प्रभु तेरे निकट विराजे, कर ले अभिवादन ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। परमानंद का अनुभव करो, परमानंद का अनुभव कर तू धन्य बना जीवन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन। ज्योति बिंदु के प्रेम सिंधु में चल आज निहाले, परम पिता का प्रेम पात्र बन कर तू शुभ वर पाले। किरण किरण को निरख नयन से, ओ किरण किरण को निरख नयन से, को जा मन में मगन। ज्योति बिंदु, ज्योति बिंदु परमात्मा से है मेरी आत्मा, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन, अब चल कर ले मिलन।
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरम्, अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं, रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभं, रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्।
अच्युतं केशवं कृष्णदामोदरं, रामनारायणं जानकीवल्लभम्।
कौन कहते हैं भगवान कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं,
कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं,
बेर शबरी के जैसे।
Say rest in peace, Mama. Mama. Good job.